Hi everyone, it's Professor Tolan. I wanted to take you on a quick run through the library search options and also through the library website just to clarify what the assignment is this week. So here's the home page for the library. This is uvu.edu/library, and this is what the main page is going to look like. The tutorials that you need for this week are located right here, kind of on the right center of the page, and so when you click that, this is where you can find all of these video tutorials that I was talking about. There's also some great information about the basics of conducting library research, and then essential research skills here, how to create a topic. Especially pay attention to this one, keyword and Boolean searching. That's really going to help you as you are doing your research work to refine the search terms that you are using. It's going to make a big difference to the research that you find. So that's what you're going to be doing this week, is spending some time especially going through these one search videos. That's going to be really important. And then also take some time to go through these research skills videos. I think you will find them invaluable. So let me take you on a really quick run through a research topic so that you can see what's going to happen. Here on the main page again, uvu.edu/library, this is the one search main box. And what you want to do here is type in the term that you want to research. So just for fun, we're going to pretend that the topic under discussion is capital punishment. And notice that I did put it inside of quote marks because it's a two-word phrase. If I didn't put it in quote marks, then it would be looking for any source that talks about the word capital, which could not only mean like capital punishment, but it could mean capital like an investment that you make and you put up a certain amount of capital. It could talk about capital letters, any number of things might come up, and then punishment, same situation. So capital punishment in quote marks, and then you just hit the search button, and I want you to notice what comes up. The first page gives us the first 20 results of 69,092 sources. That is way too much to try to sort through on your own. So the first thing you need to ask is, how can I narrow my search terms? Are you really researching capital punishment everywhere, all the time, since time began? Or are you looking for something a little more narrow? In this case, let's pretend that your interest is really about capital punishment in the state of Utah. So we're going to refine this so that we have capital punishment still in quote marks. Then we'll use the word and that's a Boolean search term. That's why I want you to make sure you watch that Boolean search video. Capital punishment and Utah. Let me hit the search button again. And look, already we're down from 62 or 64,000 sources to 404. So we're getting better. Now, once you're down into this range, the hundreds rather than the thousands or tens of thousands, look over here on the left side of the screen, and this is really important because I'm going to be talking all semester about the importance of finding academic sources. There is a difference between academic and popular sources, and later on in the semester you're going to get a chance to really explore what both of those things are. But for now, we're interested in this limit box. This is how we're going to get that number of 404 down to something even more manageable. So first of all, notice this link that says scholarly or peer-reviewed journals. Those are the academic sources we're looking for. If you look at this list of things that came up, notice this first one is a reference. It's actually the New World Encyclopedia. Not necessarily a great source. This one is a periodical, which means magazine. This one is an e-book. Here's a book. Here's an audio book. We want this list to be limited just to scholarly sources, peer-reviewed journals. So the first thing you want to do is over here on the left side of the page, click that box. And notice that it's doing some updating for us. Now we're down to 18 sources. So this is great. 18 sources is a great number to work with for a paper of the size that you're going to be working on this semester. And notice that all of these sources say academic journal, academic journal, academic journal. You'll find out later in the semester why it's so important that you're working with academic sources. They're peer-reviewed, they're scholarly, they're empirically based, so you can really rely on the information that you find in them. And there will still be some periodicals that come up, but these are going to be academic in nature as well. So the other thing you want to do, though, and this is where you have to be careful because you don't want to get this too small, but at the same time you want to make sure that the research you're doing is current. You don't necessarily want to be pulling up 50-year-old research. So if you look again in this limiting box, you can see right now it starts in 1972 and goes to 2015. What that tells you is that at least one of these sources, of these 18 that are listed, was published in 1972. That's way too old. So what you want to do is grab this little slider. You can also just type a date in here. In fact, let's do that for fun. And let's just put, oops, let's type something so that something comes up. Let's put 2000. All right, it's not liking me typing. What we're going to do, there we go. I just needed to go over it. Let's put 2000. Okay, never mind. I'm just going to use the slider bar. Let's try 2006 and see how many sources come up. So there's 11. In the last, 11 years, there have been 11 sources published on capital punishment and Utah. 11 is a pretty nice number. Then it's always fun to see if you can even get within the last maybe 5 or 6 years. So let's see what happens if we pull this up to 2011. We're down to only 5 sources, so that might be a little too narrow. So you have to play with this number a little bit. Let's say 2000. Let's just say we get this century. Then we're back to, then we have 14. So that's a pretty good number to work with. It's certainly a great starting point. Having done that, let's just choose one of these. Let's choose, should we put the death penalty on the chopping block? Because I wanted to show you a couple of important things about this information here. One of the things I wanted to point out to you is that you can save your sources. As long as you're logged in, you can kind of create a little receptacle for sources that you've found that you like so that you don't have to go through this process over and over. You can email the source to yourself. I always think that's a great idea. But notice this cite option. When you click cite, a box comes up that shows you how to format the citations. Now it does say pay special attention to personal names, capitalizations, dates, and so on. But if you click cite and then come on down to MLA, you're going to find an MLA works cited citation. Now, I do have to caution you that this year MLA came out with a new style. They came out with MLA 8. And this citation, the UVU database has not caught up yet with citation for MLA 8. This is still MLA 7 style. And honestly, because MLA 8 is still so new, I am okay with you using MLA 7 still until the databases have caught up and are actually formatting things in MLA 8. I am comfortable with you using MLA 7, but if you choose to use 7, then make sure you use 7 for the whole works cited page. Any bibliography that you do, just be consistent. If you want to do 7, then make sure everything is 7. Or if you want to do 8, make sure everything is 8. A little later in the semester, I'm going to show you another video of a website that will help you format sources in MLA 8 instead of 7. But I just wanted to show you this option. Notice that this is not Times New Roman 12-point font. There are no indentations. For instance, looking at, well, this one tried to have an indentation, so that was good, but for instance, this AMA one, notice that the second line is not indented, where MLA requires that the second and subsequent lines of every source be indented. That's all stuff we're going to talk about later in the semester, but I just wanted to point out that using this source, this site resource is awesome. It saves a ton of time, but you still have to, once you copy and paste this into your paper, like on a works cited page, you're still going to have to reformat it to match Times New Roman font, to add the indentations that are required, and so on. So that's a brief overview on conducting research and looking for scholarly sources in the library. Hope it helps.